Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the StarLadder NA Qualifier Best of 3 series here. Digital Chaos versus OpTic Gaming. I'm Spruce Moose, your play-by-play caster, and with me is Forge Dota. How you doing today, Forge?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm looking forward to this exciting series. Should be lots of fun. DC, OpTic, one of the, two of the bigger powerhouses in NA. Should be fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you want to walk us through the bands so far?
I mean, so far, nothing too out of the ordinary. I think Nature's Prophet, the biggest one that stands out to me. Yeah, he feels like he's been kind of floating in and out of the scene right now. Even been running as the more as a support lately, is what I've been seeing. Strangely
Yeah,
enough,
yeah. Lots of
but
NA teams kind of trying to run him as that position 4, right? I know Cole used to do that a lot, and then EG kind of picked up the strat as well.
yeah, especially with like Misery moving, Misery very flexible hero pool for him. So it's just interesting to me that the move that hero has made. But the rest of the band's pretty standard. We got the Dark Willow. Nobody wants to play against it. And with that AA band out, OpTic are going to respond with the Death Prophet band. But we're going to move right into the picks, actually. IO picked up for DC. And on the flip side, we're going to get the Sand King and the Witch Doctor follow up. So this is really, really strong, either as a support duo or if that is the offlane Sand King. There's lots of damage there. Maledict is going to be very, very strong, and Coconut always very, very good against IO as well. You have basically a guaranteed stun because of the tether distance being, I think, about the same as the Coconut bounce distance. So very, very strong counter to that IO. And Beastmaster going to get followed up here by DC very quickly moving through this pick phase.
Yeah, strong opening pairings from both teams. Big fan of both. I prefer the Sand King Witch Doctor, my favourite opening, but we've seen how good this IO Beastmaster can be, most notably, of course, EG with Sumail and Crit on that duo, absolutely annihilating some off lanes. And we know DC like to run it. I believe you saw them run it with when IX Mike was standing in for them in the last round of the StarLadder qualifier.
Yeah, when they were up against Thundercats, I think it was.
Thundercats, yeah.
Yeah, they ran IX Mike with the Beastmaster and Stand King on a very, very impressive IO performance. Just absolutely running around, doing a lot of work there. The Gyrocopter was the pick for Ritsu, though, so we aren't going to see that this game. But, I mean, any other core that just wants to, fight early, fight often, and even just you always have that global presence with the IO that you have to keep in the back of your head as, like, Sand King likes to split push sometimes, shove out those waves with the Caustic Finale and the Burrow Strike. So with that IO there, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to do that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Moving into the bands here, we've got Rubik, Shadow Fiend coming through from OpTic Gaming in the second phase of the bands, and then the PL for DC.
Yeah, Rubik makes a lot of sense. Already with those two picks, there's a lot of really good spells to steal. Burrow Strike is an incredibly good spell for Rubik to steal. And of course, if you get the Epicenter, very nice as well. Shadow Fiend, just a very, very strong mid right now. He did get a bit of a nerf, but with IO backing him up, can still be a very, very threatening hero. Recovers very well, even if you shut him down in lane. But OpTic actually going to grab the Venomancer. I believe they played this in their last game against... Or no, sorry. It was Cole ran this against them.
Yes, it was Limp's Veno, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Limp playing the Venomancer. So OpTic may be thinking, hey, Venomancer, still a bit of a good hero. Definitely very annoying against the IO because, that urn, those bottle charges are going to be a lot more difficult to pull off. You're going to have the wards constantly harassing damage. You. Yeah, a lot of tick damage. So I like this hero against the IO as well. They're picking a lot of very good heroes to deal with this ball.
Sure, complements really nicely with the Witch Doctor as well. The Maledict working super well with the sort of damage over time type spells, like we say the Venomous Gale or something like Infernal Blade. It's a nice combo.
Yeah, the Poison Nova going to do a lot as well. We could see, I would imagine this will be Pycat on the Venomancer. I don't necessarily see this as a CC&C hero, but I could be wrong.
Seen CC&C. I feel like Veno at the moment is more of that sort of tempo setting mid. You don't really see it in the safe lane that often anymore.
Yeah, it could be as well the 33 as well. You could see the Zai Sand King and throw Venomancer in that safe lane could be in that off lane could be very annoying there as well. That is one of the strengths of the hero is still very flexible in the draft.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a flexible opening so far from OpTic. I mean, you pretty much know what Digital Chaos are going to be doing with those first two picks. So I guess it's making them think about it because they are taking their time on this third pick. But what about even potentially seeing a position for Venomancer? I know it's a bit weird, We used to see Zai run it at TI a couple of years ago. He just dip into obviously the jungle changes now. It's not quite the same. It's probably not as effective. Oh, no, Earth Spirit and Luna. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see the position for Veno. I think Sand King is a much more farm independent position 4 hero that way. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
I
you
agree.
really want that Blink Dagger, but he farms it much more naturally. And outside of the Blink Dagger, doesn't really need a whole lot, right? You get Blink Dagger, you're pretty much happy as a Sand King. If you get other items, you're, hey, cool, that's awesome. But you come online just with that one item, and even before it, still a very useful hero. Whereas Venomancer, it's a little different, right? You need some kind of mobility items, and then you need some kind of tank ability items, and it's just not quite as it's a bit too greedy for the current meta.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
this will be a core.
fair enough, fair enough. What do you think about the Luna Earth Spirit picks? Actually, Luna will be the Pycat hero. That is his standard.
Yeah, I like this Luna a lot. We see it get picked up with Gyro getting banned. Luna is kind of seen as like the discount gyrocopter. You don't farm quite as fast. You don't come online quite as early. You need a little bit more farm, but still, you scale very well into the late game with this. You have a lot of push potential even in the early game, especially with this Venomancer backing you up. And I mean, Eclipse always going to be very good for a team fight as well. So a lot of team fight coming out from OpTic. On the flip side, though, DC now with this Luna, um, they have very, very good roam and burst potential, right? They
Oh
have
yeah, yeah.
that they want to look to split up the map, split up this 5-man of OpTic. They don't want to get into a 5-on-5 engagement. They want to, burst somebody down really quickly, relocate, you have the Beastmaster Roar, relocate the Lena in with the Laguna Blade, follow up with the burst damage. Like that's their kind of game tempo, and then turn that into a favorable fight just by numbers advantage.
For sure, which makes sense for Optic's last ban here, the Lifestealer. Hero that contributes very well to that sort of play.
Yeah, you roll in with the Earth Spirit, you have the Life Stealer inside. Very, very strong roam. So good ban from OpTic, reading that through.
And what are we expecting to see DC ban out here in the 5th phase? What do Optic need? I guess we're not really sure if they need a 4 or an off lane or a mid.
I think they just look to grab themselves like a self-sufficient core, something maybe like the Juggernaut. So they are going to ban out. I actually do think it's a CC&C Venomancer. So they're going to ban out the Tide Hunter. I guess they're just worried about like an overwhelming amount of team fight
Yeah.
from OpTic, right? That's the kind of classic pick.
It's kind of the meta at the moment. Is it doesn't matter how well you gank and pick off. At some point, you're going to have to take a fight, especially this current meta.
Yeah, so they are going to ban that out. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like the Juggernaut come through for them. That healing ward's going to be very good against both the Maledict and the Venomancer. And it's actually going to be the Omni Knight.
Ooh.
So this is either
Interesting.
a Ritsu Omni or a Ritsu Beastmaster. I think it's more likely going to be the Ritsu Omni Knight. Repel's going to be very good to deal with the Venomancer. You're going to get lots of stick charges, assuming that's where the hero goes. You have Repel and you have Purification to constantly keep you up in the lane. I think this is okay.
Yeah, it's not a standard pick. Actually, we're saying that we have seen a bit more in the meta with some of these core Omni Knights. Do you think it'll go like Battle Fury or SNY or just like Rush the Radiance sort of thing?
I don't think we'll see Battle Fury. He farms a little bit too slow. You're going to definitely lose as an Omni Knight in the farm war against a Luna.
Oh yeah,
you're just not fast enough. So I think it's more likely we'll see something like either the drums SNY or the drums Radiance, Midas Radiance, something like that. Something that maybe doesn't come online quite as quickly, but once it does come online, is very strong, very hard to deal with, very annoying. Drums SNY seems to be the tempo DC wants to set, though. I think that's what we'll see. Just a couple of cheap early stat items and just run them down.
Sure. I mean, they've got the ability to take the towers as well with the Beastmaster and with the Lena. They just need to run them down, win those fights, and then take the objectives off of that. You say the same thing about OpTic, to be honest. They've got a pretty strong fight and push team. Good siege with the Veno and the Luna.
Yeah, the Omni Knight does give them the team fight that they were needing as well, right? You have the GA, which is going to be very, very effective. And, if any of your cores if you ever pick up a BKB on the Omni Knight, you always have the Repel to keep somebody else alive, somebody who's very squishy, like the Lena, especially. So I do like this pickup. It's just a question of where OpTic want to run this Venomancer now and what they want to look to grab next. So assuming it's a CC&C Venomancer,
I
what
would
do
have
they want
thought
to
so, but maybe they think about reprioritizing now with that Omni Knight pickup. If they want to slot him into the off lane so he has, less priority, because also the Veno now not quite as potentially effective as it would have been without that Omni Knight pickup.
Yeah, and I'm worried about Veno versus Lina. Lina has a huge
That's the
range
thing as well.
advantage against a Veno, but it
Oh
is
no.
going to be the mid Veno.
Okay.
They are going to run the 33 Underlord. CCNC is going to be on that Venomancer against the Lina. So Bryle's going to have. I would definitely say Bryle has the favorable matchup here, but the biggest thing is that if CCNC goes for just a Plague Wards build, around like 8 or 9 minutes in, once he gets a lot of levels in those Plague Wards, it's going to be very difficult for Bryle to stand there and not lose his tower. Is going to be the way this
Yeah.
goes.
I feel that's probably the build he'll have to go. I mean, it depends how effective Zion PPD can be on their roaming, I guess.
Yeah, the rotations from the supports are definitely going to be key because like CCNC is going to spend a lot of time, I would say, like in the river, just because Lena's going to have like just a huge base advantage. Um, so I think if Ritsu's playing Earth Spirit. What?
Uh,
Isn't Ritsu normally their carry player?
he is indeed. They do have a couple of stand-ins though. Aoi,
Yeah.
obviously, and Aoi's not playing, and neither is Moon. They do have a couple of stand-ins, so maybe it's a comfort thing. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how this works out.
Omni Knight's not a traditional core, so traditional position 1 at least. Maybe they're swapping it around.
Yeah, but I mean, Earth Spirit position 1. I don't know. Well,
No, I assume not, but
yeah,
oh yeah,
I
we'll
don't know.
find out. We'll find
We'll
out.
see. I'm gonna give laning advantage to. Actually, you know what? I'm
It's
just
got to
gonna
be
give
DC, right?
No, I'm gonna give the whole advantage to OpTic. I
Reckon?
think their lanes are very strong, even with this IO Beastmaster. Luna Witch Doctor is an incredibly powerful combination. Underlord, pretty tanky, pretty tough to deal with,
I
and
know those swaps, so Ritsu is back on the Omni Knight.
okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, debating us a little bit at the start there.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the flee or spirit. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, I think that even other than CCNC, which is probably their weaker lane. I mean, Veno is still a very strong laner. It's just the
Yeah,
kind
they
of
get
less favorable
outranged.
matchup. Yeah, it's just going to be a kind of a less favorable matchup against the Lina. She's got a huge base damage advantage as well as the range advantage. So other than that, that's going to be their weak lane, but that's still a strong lane, right? Like that's still not a lane that Earth Spirit wants to comfortably roll in on because then you're going to get galed up, you're going to get hit by the wards. It's going to be tough. So I think OpTic have themselves a really good draft here.
Oh, cool. Well, let's see how it plays out. I'm interested to see some of these laning matchups and some of these hero matchups as well. Not so necessarily standard meta picks, which is always nice to see. No gyrocopter, yay! Might be the first game in about 20 that I've casted without a gyrocopter in it, or a Terrorblade, or a DP, or a DK. Actually, none of them are in the game, so I'm happy. Hopefully we
Yeah,
have a good
that's fair.
best of 3 series here for you guys. If you are just joining into the stream, welcome. This is the NA qualifiers for StarLadder, DC versus OpTic, with me, Spruce Moose, and Forged Dota here. I'm going to see everybody splitting up here. Not seeing the usual OpTic group up as 5 and move down with a smoke, but they are smoked up.
Yeah, CCNC grabbed Poison Sting level 1. If he had Gale, I would expect that kind of really aggressive maneuver. But they just grabbed their laning. They're just worried about securing their lanes, basically, right?
Yeah.
Underlord, kind of a weak level 1 contest hero as well. You either get Firestorm or Atrophy Aura. And Firestorm, kind of bad when you don't have enough Disable to keep them in there. So
See both teams plopping down some Deep Observer wards. Trying to spot out, as we're saying, spot out the lanes, about the rotations. And actually, did they block their own hard camp here on DC? Bottom Observer ward.
they might have. They did.
But walk me through the reasoning for that.
Well, I guess it's just easy for. I think it looks like they were probably expecting 33 down here, and it's pretty easy for him to just contest those pulls with Firestorm. So it's just a lot safer to just try and like stack these camps and then pull. That's probably their reasoning.
See Zai here, getting blocked up by the Beast. Will use the Burrow Strike to secure himself that bounty rune. That will be
So
3 runes to the side of OpTic, yeah. Nicely done.
It's a pretty good start for them. Yeah, it is going to be the aggro dual lane though. Pycat and PPD hanging out in this bottom lane, going to contest Ritsu. So I don't know if they scouted that and that's why they're looking to block it, because that offlane pull, if they if they scouted or were predicting this aggro dual lane, off lane pull can be very good to kind of make Pycat feel a little bit safer because the creeps do meet a lot closer to the Radiant Tower than maybe Pycat wants.
I see PPD dewarding that as well.
Ooh, good catch. They did get the early Observer ward down.
Yeah,
so
true.
that he must have
saw the
sacrificed
movement.
that.
Yeah. Sure. Up top here though, Zai taking a lot of harass from this aggressive dual lane of the IO. He's now tethered to the range creep.
That's probably that's an interesting tether target. Probably just trying to escape. Size movements, I think, are definitely going to be key to this game. He's going to have to be setting the tempo for his team, buying space for Pycat, making sure CCNC doesn't have too rough of a game. As already we see Bryle taking a... Actually, I thought this was going to be a little bit more favored, but so far keeping fairly even.
Yeah, he's gone for the 1 point in the Fiery Soul with the Dragon Slave there, giving him a bit more of attack speed and movement speed. And he cast those spells. Hopefully try and give him a bit more of a... Last, he's got the XP advantage at least. So far, 8-2, 7-1. It's pretty even.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. CCNC playing this very well. Lina, not a hero that you see very commonly anymore. Starting to make her way a little bit back in.
Arrow strike here onto the Beastmaster with Zai, but he should be fine. The tether from IO keeping him nice and healthy, and actually Zai getting a lot harassed there from stanking.
He's at a regen as well.
Pops the clarity at least. Immediately cancelled though by stanking, yeah. Does the Barrow strike? He might. No.
Oh, he doesn't have. He doesn't have spirits yet. I thought if he's level 2 there, he actually might die just from spirits. And CCNC has a regen. That's gonna help him a lot.
Bottom lane though, Ritsu 6-2 versus 10-3 here on Pycat. I would expect maybe to do a little bit better, but they have actually matched these lanes up pretty well on the side of OpTic. It's possibly, do you say the worst lane for the Omni Knights being other than I guess minus the Venomancer?
No, I think this is probably the worst. Luna we see actually get picked up a lot to deal with Omni Knight as an off-laner. Actually, is this first blood? He doesn't have repel.
Maledict on him, he's taking a lot of damage. He pops the Tango, Purify in 4 seconds. PPD is here though. He's not going to die to the Maledict. The Lucent Beam gets the Purify off though. PPD dropping low as well. The Pycat is here, and actually no. First blood will go up top here. OpTic. 33 and Zai, they're finding the kill on the IO. They're going for more.
First strike.
IO's back here, catch the Fire Strike there onto the Beastmaster with the Corsic procs there as well, and the last hits from 33. Beastmaster will drop as well. Atrophy Aura, 40 bonus damage.
Yeah, that was really well played by Zai there. He looks like he spends the whole time running towards Flea on the Earth Spirit. So as soon as ITB's in, he starts healing up the Earth Spirit and then immediately switches targets over onto the Beastmaster to secure that kill. Well played by Zai.
We're looking to position to go in again, but they're pushing this creep wave in aggressively against this Beastmaster. Actually, may get run down here. 33 in trouble. The roll comes through from Flea. Dropping low, tries to juke himself through the trees. We'll drop another Firestorm here. Zai's rotating in. Axe is doing a lot of damage. Pops the one charge. Jukes for the trees. 33 should be able to get out of here, actually. Now, Zai himself might be in trouble. Does have the Barrow Strike available if he needs it. Pops the one charge, tries to go for the return kill, and does get it on the IO there. Great play. Great turnaround there from Zai, but can he get himself out of trouble here? Rolling Boy comes for free. Nicely duped there by Zai, but the Axe has the Sandstorm now. Dodges a second return on the Axe. The kick will miss as well, and Zai, he's going to live. 33 as well.
Ritsu dead?
He is indeed. Pycat there. Down bottom, actually PPT with the Maledict tick will find the kill. And OpTic showing up in these lanes. 5-0. Less than 5 minutes into the game.
Zai is playing like an absolute madman with these jukes there. Just like
very nice.
Completely breaking all of the ankles. And again, doing a very good job of switching targets, making it look like he's going to spend the whole time chasing after the Beastmaster, trying to get those kills, and then baits the IO in deep enough that the Burrow Strike is able to connect. Doing a really good job of switching his targets as he needs.
He's dropping pretty low into the tower. Will dodge the Axes once again. Fire the creeps before 33 walks himself back up to the lane. See Flea here setting up in the middle as the Earth Spirit may try and look for a go onto CCNC here, but it's not much mana available on Brawl, but he does have the 9-1 charges.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's going to be nice about this lane for Brawl is that this constant ward spam.
Ritsu again is
from
dropping
CCC.
low with the Mana Addict again. Io TP's down though, offers the heal. Can they turn around on PPD here? Yes, they can. Ritsu with the Purify actually might be able to run down Pycat as well. Stan King here doing work. The Lucent Beam's not going to be able to hold him back. Ritsu gets a double kill with that turnaround.
That salve from Stan King was huge. They had no way to cancel it as soon as PPD goes down. Pycat's already in too deep. He's not able to dive past the Omni Knight, and just the sustain coming out from that salve is huge.
Roll forwards
CCC
onto
in the mid, though.
CCNC, get the kick there as well, connected free, but actually kicks him away from Bryal, and it's going to save the life of CCNC there. He just walks back in, dumps some more Plague Wards, go, okay, see you later.
And he's doing a very good job of denying his own wards too as well. As soon as they get low enough, he just makes sure that he either focuses on his hero or the wards on making sure that those denies are coming through. So the extra experience or the extra CS that you would maybe get on this Lina, not coming through.
We do see the bottom shrine here used as Stan King Flea and Ritsu as well, all group up. We do see a rotation now. Zai with an invis. Gets the bar strike there with the poison over from CCC, but Io is here. Stan King to heal up Brawl as much as possible. Get the LSA connecting there onto Zai as well with the kick as well from Flea. The Dragon Slave will find the kill, and that Zai is down. Once again, great movement from Stan King to heal up the mid, and that is a big ult cooldown as well from CCC wasted.
That really well played there by Stan King, man. That's twice now he's been able to save the life of one of his cores and turn it around into kills as Io is off to a very, very good start. And this is one of the reasons the hero gets banned out in the region so
PPD wrapping round two on Ritsu. They get the Mana Addict off with a Coconut, taking a lot of damage. He does pop the Propel Tiles around, but look at the body blocks from PPD. Lucent Beam there as well with Thunder Good Action. PPD goes, nope, support tax. I'll have that. Last kick, please. Thank you very much. Kill secured.
OpTic still off to a very strong start despite these rotations from Stan King, but I mean, every time he's not in a lane, they make sure that they pressure where he isn't. So still getting these kills, and Omni Knight, a hero that does not want to play from behind, especially as this kind of farming one core. And Zai in this bottom lane.
To make a go on Ritsu again, but Stan King is here. He's spotted out though by Zai. Can he connect the Barrow Strike? Yes, he can. PPD is here as well with the Coconut and the Maledict. Io taking a lot of harass with the Lucent Beam. He will surely pop from that Malediction. In fact, Pycat's just going to find him with the right clicks. Mass TP is coming through, as you say. Actually, will be cancelled up, going, maybe we can't engage in this fight after all. Ritsu will be left alone in this bottom lane.
It was looking like they were going to dive the tower, so that's why they were looking to TP in. But this does put OpTic in a very favorable position for the next minute or so. They have free reign to basically put pressure anywhere, and they know that there's at least two heroes that cannot TP in.
For sure. Ritsu here, he's going to go for the phase boots as his first. Well, his boots of choice, pretty standard there for that core Omni Knight. Lina, meanwhile, also gone for the phase, looking for the Yule's first item. Guess she's trying to set up for that LSA Laguna Blade combo.
Zai's got an arcane rune and he wants to keep the pressure on Brawl. That is definitely one of the hero that you do not want snowballing. And is farming very well. Hasn't died yet in the mid lane despite...
Spotted out by Flea though there, a couple of pings. Back himself towards the bottom lane.
They're just looking to keep Ritsu down as much as possible.
Well, actually, they find a kill, solo kill there, Bryal. That with the Laguna Blade? It was, yeah.
That's the danger of Veno against the Lina. You always have to be worried about getting hit by stun.
Down bottom, Zai trying to dive deep into Ritsu. Here comes rotation for Stanky. It's another Barrow Strike there. Can they bring down this Omni Knight with the heal? The Lucent Beam comes down with the Glaze. It's going to be enough. They do lose Zai though. Flea rolls in here now, connects onto PPD, gets a beautiful double kick. Silence there from Flea. With the overcharge here from the Io and Stan King, they should be able to try and run down one of these heroes, but PPD with the Voodoo Restoration, is it going to be enough? Pops the wand with the treads on in, thinking about turning with the Eclipse, but it looks like they're going to back off. They even rotate the Beastmaster over there, looking to fight with the Raw. Everybody's showing up in this bottom lane.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason the Pycat didn't turn around, is they saw this TP coming in from the Beastmaster there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that username, man. I'm sorry.
It's a hard one. That's why I've been saying Beastmaster. to be fair. I always like to say the names if I can. Yeah. That's why they're rotating everyone down. Split out the big stack. Split up the XP to get Lucent Beam, catch there onto Ritsu with the Coconut. Repel there, not in time. Addict will connect with the Pit of Malice as well. Throws the Purify out. Is it going to be enough damage though? Bring him down. As one charge is available, he should actually be fine. They're diving him deep there. Another Lucent Beam connects. There's the Barrow Strike around the backside of the tower with Zai rotating in, and Pycat now on a killing spree. Ritsu, there were 4 heroes here. Now it's just Ritsu, and he gets taken down by the mass rotations of OpTic, and they can look to turn into this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and there's massive amount of damage onto 33 right now, so they're going to take this tower very
120.
easily.
Yeah. Looking for a setup there onto CC&C. Roll comes forward here from Flea. The kit connects. Raw, look at the range on that. Zai is here though with a bar strike, catches out the Lina before she can get the Laguna Blade out. CC&C does drop the Poison Nova before he does drop finally to Bryle. Rift coming in through from the Underlord. Stanking, can he keep his core alive? Pops the urn. Bryle's still somehow alive. They do find a secondary kill there onto Flea. Stanking though dropping very, very low for the Poison Nova, but it's not lethal, so he should be fine. Just surviving there on 4 HP. Stanking again, doing work.
If CC&C was able to get off the Gale there, that's easy double kill. But unfortunately for him, Laguna just barely in time to make sure that that doesn't come out. He was in the middle of his turn animation to make sure that that got off. But well played by DC. They're not out of this game just yet.
Not at all. See a full hood picked up now by the Underlord. Ritsu, getting Gale down here, will be forced to purify. CCC trying to chase him down with rotation from Zai, connects the Burrow Strike there. Roll in low from Flea, he has the repel. And Ritsu should be fine. Actually, they think about turning this round, they get the relocate in here with Bryle. CCC caught out, there's the silence as well. Ritsu dropping low, but with the LSA and the Purify, they have enough damage to bring down that Venomancer. And he is down for 30 seconds.
Yeah, really good switch up from Bryle too. Yule's is good as like kind of a defensive option, but if they play defensive, if they just kind of play on the back foot, then OpTic is going to run them down. So opts for the more aggressive option in the Shadow Blade. And of course, I mean, you know, until they get Dust, still going to be good as an escape tool, but this option is going to allow him to find a nice couple of kills.
Oh, Shadow Blade there. Here. Yeah, connects the LSA with the Laguna Blade and dominating now for Bryle, finds that quick pick.
Yeah, really good reveal from him. That's basically a double kill, one onto the CC&C, and then that secondary pick onto Zai. So this Shadow Blade absolutely starting to
pick it up. Magic Deathward there onto the IO. Is PPD going to find a solo kill on Stanking? The roar comes out though from the Beastmaster, trying to turn it around. Voodoo Restoration is not going to save you, but at least PPD gets the IO before he drops. But a quick return from DC with the reactions there.
Doesn't get the XP, but still a nice gold bounty for PPD. Kind of breaking away from his position 8 fame.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of space for Pycat in the meantime. Though already has the Dragonlance, Aquila, and the Treads online. Going to be moving towards that Mask of Madness, and once he gets that, going to just absolutely explode in farm. So DC need to keep this pace going. Hopefully, maybe find a couple of kills with that Beastmaster and that Lina onto Pycat.
Smoke now though from OpTic. 3 heroes. They got the Eclipse ready. Look like they want to fight. I know there's no Prime or Raw available.
Yeah, Earth Spirit knows though. He's drawing the lines in the mid lane. Basically saying this is where OpTic probably is. They're playing behind Pycat and CC&C. So good read from them.
Moving deep, can Zai find a connection? Yes, he can. Bio strikes there. PPD with the Maledict has the Coconut as well. The Gale will come through with the Lucent Beam. CC&C will pick up that kill against Stanking, and the tier 1 tower will drop as well. No answer
all
from
of
DC.
The team fight is online. All of the team fight for OpTic is ready to go as well. They've got the Gale, they've got the Eclipse. Epicenter is ready to go. Still a ways away from the Blink Dagger for Zai, but he's not too far behind, or wasn't too far behind the Omni Knight for a while. So that's not where you want your position 1 to be.
Not
they find Beastmaster.
They do indeed tries for the TP. It's not going to happen. No, still has that TP available. Gets the roar off there onto Sand King. Might be able to turn this round to Zai. Actually, in fact, with Sand King's rotation as well, they do. The Sand King drops. Nice turnaround. In fact, they get another roll forward from Flea here, looking for PPD. Brawl does find a solo kill there onto CC&C, farming up some jungle camps, but PPD can he get himself out of this? Trying to bait Flea up to the high ground here. Pycat drops the Eclipse for it as well. Feel the hate. Air Spirit will go down.
This is a pretty close game, all things considered. I think the biggest advantage that OpTic have right now is the fact that they have been able to safely defend these towers. Between 33 and CC&C, they've been able to defend their towers very well, but Bryle...
Oh, catches out 33 here with the LSA. No time to get the pit off. He's brought down very quickly. In fact, the Beastmaster finding the kill on that one. Yeah. But less than a 1k advantage now for either side. 12 to 13 the score. Like you're saying, very, very even.
Yeah, And most of that net worth advantage, the slight one that is there, is just from those towers, right? They've been able to defend all of their towers very well, thanks to wards and to 33 basically camping top lane with that firestorm. So once these towers start to follow, it's actually a lot closer than that.
Yeah, for sure. Expecting a bit more aggression maybe from the IOB Smash at the start of the draft, but like we say, the Underlord pick doing a lot to negate that early pressure and pushing power of the Beastmaster IO.
Top lane, they're going to find Zai. He doesn't have Burrow Strike for another few seconds.
Connection there, stun, silence. Omni Knight going to try and run down. They get the Dark Rift. Though Zai with a beautiful double Burrow Strike there. Fleet will drop there to the Glaives. Here comes 33, connects the Pit of Malice there onto Ritsu. He will use the Repel though. And they get an axe kill there onto Zai from long range. Nice turnaround. And now 33 and Pike out, they're going to have to back themselves out with Stanking, tethering himself closer there, attaching himself to the Hawk for vision. 33 goes, alright. You run Pike out, I'll hold the fort here.
Yeah, Brow's coming up with a haste rune though. Oh man, if he only knew which way Pycat had run, I actually think he could have gotten that kill.
He's still going hunting now. I refilling up the mana there of Bryle. He's running fast, but 33 already out of there. This tier 1 tower is sure to drop very quickly.
Yeah, DC doing a very good job of coming out of that laning phase, which I think they were definitely losing that laning phase very, pretty roughly. Top was not going well at all. I mean, 33 basically got whatever he wanted. Bottom, Pycat was absolutely obliterating. It was really only mid that was kind of going okay for DC, but Ryle has taken that lead and said, all right, guys, don't worry. I'll buy all the space. I'll get these key pickoffs. I'll get the Shadow Blade, and it's paying off.
Yeah, for sure. You see Ritsu there. Looking like he's in a little bit of trouble. Just Repel TPs himself out. PPD not going to waste a Death Ward on that one. And oh, do you see a smoke movement though? Primal Roar is available. Flee. Bryle's moving into the area as well. He is right underneath the Sentry Ward if he goes invis right now. Doesn't even need to though. The roll forward from Flee connects onto PPD. Pops the heal immediately. The axes will miss. Gets himself out of trouble just in time. TCSC's rotating over. The dust comes through, and here's on the sidelines. Pike out with the Eclipse once again, annihilating Flea on this Earth Spirit. Beautiful Pit of Mana. The Burrow Strike there from Zai. Bryle, relocate is there from Stanky, and he gets himself out. Great reactions there from the IO. He might pay for his life, but
back in.
They're going to try and fight this. Ritsu's here. Beastmaster's here as well. Stanky gets the Terror away. The Burrow Strike misses. Everybody's still standing strong. Only losing the Earth Spirit in that entire engagement. And a Midas now on Ritsu.
Yeah. That was really, really well played there. They quickly realized the overextension that they've made. They dealt the split away. Unfortunately, Bryle gets stuck in the river, but a really nice relocate out from Stan King ensures that his core stays alive. And then the nice TP back in ensures that once DC, have to come back with the IO, the rest of the team is there to back him up already. And a good tether away. As he lives.
Sure. This game again, very, very even, very, very back and forth. 13 to 15 with slight net worth advantage to OG.
Oh, bottom and the Ritsu maybe going down again.
He's the epicenter as well. Death Ward and everything. Ritsu, he's dropping low. Has the Maledict on him. Will he pop? Almost certainly. One more right click. PPD will secure the kill there. Now look to maybe make a move onto Pycat. Up top DC they're setting up, but Glaives will reveal the position of the creeps and Beastmaster.
That's the biggest problem for DC right now, is that their position 1 Omni Knight is struggling to recover from farm. Every time he shows himself on the map, Zai is there with at least +1, sometimes +2 to turn that into some kind of killing.
Rich attempt here from DC. Realizing they can't get any other objective, they turn towards the pit with a surprise Roshan. The Siege Carter's in here with the Beastmaster Auras. They're making pretty quick work of it. Look at that overcharge from Bryle. That attack speed is insane.
Yeah, level 16 on the Lina, so full Fiery Soul stacks up on him, and
Aye, he is big.
This is a really, really farm Lina, even ahead of the Luna, who, is a very, very fast farmer. Very quick to, very easy to fall behind in farm, but Bryle with these really good pickoffs and very excellent rotations has managed to keep up.
Sure, we see Zai getting closer to his Blink Dagger, about 200 gold away now of that last creep wave there as they pressure this tier 2. Trying to force some reactions out of DC on the map.
Yeah, they're gonna send Ritsu down bottom, and I think they need to send somebody with Ritsu.
Well, Bryle spotted out though by Pycat, quickly dropped the sentry from PPD with the Maledict. Loosen Beam. They have the Eclipse, the Devil, but then relocate again from Stanking, saving Bryle twice now. Look to maybe turn this back around. Beastmaster here on the side of this fight, but everybody from OpTic is ready to fight. Hittermass already down preemptively, will root up. He gets the tether off anyway. Coconut there will bounce between. Can they charge uphill here? They get the Gale there onto the Io. They're hesitant to run uphill.
He's going to TP back to base, and he's going to be fine.
Stanking again.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Just can't stop this tether, man. Every single time.
I mean, I can't blame OpTic for that. That's a really tough timing. You basically have to remember exactly when he relocated out, which isn't something you're really keeping track of when you're trying to go on Alina.
So rolling forward aggressively. Gets a stun there onto CCNC, but here comes Zai with the epicenter onto the Io. Can they burst him down? He's still somehow alive. Gets another tether off back to flee, and he's going to survive again. The unkillable Io. Now, OpTic there on the retreat. Ritsu running forwards. PPD, though, does actually finally find him there with the Magic. Here comes the Poison over out, but the Guardian Angel as well to try and negate some of the physical damage. Zai will drop surely. Yes, he does. This fight's still going on 33. Tries to rift everybody out of here. Beastmaster dropping low with the Maledict and the poison damage. PPD running for the hills, making space. And actually, the Dark Rift will be cancelled. They want to fight this fight. Bryle should be able to bring down PPD. No. Yes. No, he can't. The Aegis does drop there. PPD living with a little sliver of health there thanks to the Voodoo Restoration. Can they bring down Bryle a second time as Earth Spirit Flea drops? They don't have any detection. He just Shadow Blades away. No detection. He's gone.
It's still a huge fight for OpTic, though. And that's the biggest problem with DC right now. With this Omni so far behind, they just don't have the team fight for a full 5-on-5 engagement. If they don't get a numbers advantage right away, then that's basically what happens, right? You have this Lina who's doing a lot of damage, but you don't have the frontline tank to really survive the just massive amount of team fight damage that OpTic have. Eclipse wasn't even used in that fight. That was just the Gale and the epicenter, and I mean, just DC having a tough time.
Bryle has spotted him out, looking for the solo kill, has the Yules available. Relocate's coming through as well, actually connects the Dragon Slave, doesn't even need the Yule set up, doesn't even need to relocate, he finds the kill. But actually Ritsu claims the end of that kill streak. That's 7 times, 776 gold there, going to Ritsu.
Yeah, that's 100% worth it to give that to Ritsu. That's why they relocated him in, was for that kill snipe, because he is so far behind on net worth right now, and they can feel it. So, you know, he's got to recover any way he can, and a good kill on a Luna like that is 100% the way to do it.
See, some nice items picked up now by 33. Does have the Crimson Guard and the full pipe completed, so a lot of damage mitigation on the side of OpTic Gaming now.
Zai is just going to scurry his way away.
Fine.
Dvat looking for the... yeah, he was looking for him in the Sandstorm, but Necro 3 popped a little bit too late.
Smoke from OpTic, looking to move towards the bottom tower here. Glyph will be used to defend it from this creep army of Beastmaster, and they're spying him out. Zai will find him with the Burrow Strike there. PPD follow up there with the Maledict. Raw actually comes onto PPD before he can get the coconuts off. Pit of Mana, so they will hold back the Beastmaster. Here comes the Epicenter as well, just trying to finish off. But he is surprisingly tanky. Lasts a decent amount of time. PPD with a mega kill streak now on this Witch Doctor.
Yeah, they didn't quite have the relocate cooldown, so not able to really save him in there, and Stanking not willing to throw away his life as well as Dvat on this Beastmaster. So.
Is that the blink reveal from Zai as well? Or did we see that last fight?
No, we saw that in the last fight. He's had that for a little bit. As far as I know.
To turn to this tier 1 tower now in the middle lane. Ritsu is quite far up. The repel will come out. The right clicks from CCNC doing a decent amount of damage. Crumbs popped as well. Ritsu should be fine. Got the Purifier there. And Stanking as well, backing him up.
Omni's got the full pipe as well, so he's going to start to tank up, help out his Lina, but
it's a big pickup.
Still not quite enough, I don't think. The Blink Dagger is going to be queued up for Flea on the Earth Spirit, but I don't know. It just,
yeah.
I mean, like, it just feels like there's just this huge disparity between Bryle and the rest of his team, right? He's sitting at the top of the net worth, and then there's 2 core heroes, and yeah, you've got Beastmaster sitting...
He's equal with CC in terms of the net worth. Got a Necro free and Odd. He's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing okay. He's got good summons, but none of this is tanky stuff, right? These are all very offensive items on this Beastmaster, and Bryle has enough damage for his whole team. The real thing is just keep making sure he's alive to deal with it, and that's why you see this pipe onto Ritsu. Now he's going to start to turn into some core items with the S and Y, but they just really need somebody to stand in front.
Actually, that's Ritsu's job here, but Flea spots them out. Roll forward there, tries for the kick, but the 4-star's going to be there in time. They didn't even use the relocate, but OpTic, he managed to disengage that. And actually, they try to look for the re-engage here. Zai gets the drive strike, a beautiful bit of match to and that's the KB coming out there from Bryle, trying to annihilate Zai there with the Lunar Blade, but Zai will survive. Now DC, they need to get out of here. The Lucent Beam will connect there onto the Beastmaster. Drops his summons, tries to turn with the Roar, but another bar strike through from Zai, and they're fighting on the Shrine. They're actually just going to leave the Beast to die by himself. It's OpTic will find that kill. And they're going to rift bottom.
Yeah, the Crimson Guard.
Stanking, sorry, he's caught out here by Zai as well. Gets to tether away the creeps, but he can't tether away from this coconut. It will follow you to the ends of the earth, and he will pop there. Thanks to the malediction of PPD.
Yeah, that was really well played by OpTic. Immediately after that, they just all Dark Rift bottom. They still got TPs to defend top if they want to. And they are going to be able to get this T2 and maybe threaten high ground.
Possibly.
There's
yeah, no
two
IO,
down,
30 seconds.
They have all their cooldowns as well. They have the Epicenter, they have the
Poison Nova,
and the Eclipse. Yeah,
drums popped and they start going to work on this tier 3. Glyph will be forced here from DC. TCC starts popping down this Plague Ward army.
I don't see how they defend this.
It's going to be a tier 3 for sure. See if they can get any more Flea. The beautiful 3-man stun there. The poison never comes out. Guardian Angel is there from Ritsu. Lips bouncing around, but not doing a whole lot of work, to be honest. That Stensar stop there from the Beastmaster connecting onto 2. PPD, though, with the Death Ward, trying to force them back as they just focus the racks here with the Glaze from Pycat on this Luna. And what a great positional Death Ward there from PPD. And that's a full set of racks at 27 minutes.
There's too much damage, and it's all AoE, so even though Bryle is sitting very far back, you've got Glaives bouncing around, you've got the Epicenter, you've got the Eclipse. Like, as soon as the rest of his team backs off, he has to run. And with this Crimson Guard pickup and this full pipe on 33, he's just keeping his team alive. Like, this Crimson Guard, Lina is a hero that does, you know, a lot of damage, a lot of her right-click damage spread out over small instances. So this Crimson Guard is absolutely destroying her.
Sure, for sure. Now 8k up. It's the first time we've seen such an advantage this game. OpTic looking very good at the moment. See the full blink, of course, on Zai. He's looking for 4-stuff as his next major item. Icat, how's he doing? He's actually gone for the Lincoln Sphere. That's pretty reasonable pickup, considering the Beastmaster and the Lina as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing enough damage on Pycat and the rest of the team that they don't really need to, like, he doesn't need, like, a butterfly and all this other stuff. All he really needs to do is make sure he doesn't get jumped, and then the rest of his team is almost always there to back up. You notice that, like, this whole game, OpTic has played very, very tight as a group. Since the laning stages ended, they've basically run around as a 3 or 4-man squad.
Smoking up now as a full 5-man squad. The smoke will be broken, though. Pycat is spotted by Flea. This for anyone else, he actually gets to roll TP himself out. Can they engage this fight on anybody else? Beastmaster also TPing. Is anybody going to spot him? No. He gets himself out. And everybody from DC gets out of there. He's going to follow up the creeps there instead. Roshan was what they were looking for initially, but not quite up yet. Quite a long respawn, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. They'll settle for a tier 1.
Now Ritsu's going for the Radiance, but this is instead of the usual, like, if you're having a good Omni Knight game, you maybe get like a, 15, 16-minute Radiance, or like maybe 20 minutes. He's getting it at almost 30 minutes. He's getting the Relic at almost 30 minutes.
Trying to run down 33 here on the Omni Knight, just trying to cut the wave here with the Purify. 33's going, okay. He's kind of just tickling me, but there's not too much I can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trading, right? Like, DC's just looking for any kind of trades, any objectives they can get. But meanwhile, you've got this lane that
he's rifting out. He's in trouble. There's a lot of heroes here, but they don't have the damage to bring him down. He just rifts himself to his buddies, and now they're going to push, and we're going to have a little bit of a base race here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no TP on Bryle, so he has to get relocated back.
Yeah.
Which means
Beastmaster versus Luna. Who wins? Are they going for the tier 4s on DC? Trying to force back OpTic.
We're going to get a base race.
Epicenter comes through from Zai, but the Roar there finds him. And DC suddenly looking very good. They're in a great position. PPD with the Maledict there and the Death Ward. Tries to force Ritsu back. He goes for the TP. Is he going to be enough damage? No, it's not. Sorry, no, yes, it is. He doesn't get the TP out. He's fine. He's dead. EPD, Wicked sick. Stanking tries for the TP. Zai's gonna spot him though with the Burrow Strike, connects there. And that decision to go for the tier 4s, it gets OpTic away, but
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
That was worth it. That was actually worth it, because if you go for a Rax trade, right, then you're just gonna lose that trade, because Luna pushes way faster against Rax than you do because the Glaive's bouncing around. But because they go for that tier 4, OpTic feels pressure to back up with the whole team, which means that they don't get anything other than this T3. There was no way that they get make it there because this T2 is in the mid lane is there. So that was really a really good read. And they do get a T4 tower. If they are able to hold on, that next base race, that next, rush down whatever lane is going to be a lot easier because there's one less tower to deal with.
That's true. Flea rolling into the pier, trying to contest this Roshan. Can he find the steal? No, he just finds his death. Pycat there will pick up the Aegis and the cheese. CC there now on a killing spree, and OpTic feeling like they're back in control a little bit after a little bit of a wobble there with that quick, smart decision from DC.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. He knew that they were in the pit. He just didn't have info. I don't think. I think the Hawk died right before the Rosh went down. So
I mean, it's worth it to try it every single time, right? If you're Flea in this position, like it's already basically respawned. 5 seconds to go. Why not give it a go?
Yeah, and worst comes to worst, you just buy back, right? Like even with the quick respawn, if absolute worst comes to worst, you just buy back, and it's like you said, it's worth it to deny that Aegis to OpTic, right? You die when you res almost no matter what, but if you deny that to Pycat, very huge play. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out.
Oh, quick Burrow Strike forward there from Zai. Forced off onto Ritsu as well. The Lucent Beam will connect. Pop for the Repel. Tries to turn around the Shiva's Guard and the Guardian Angel. And Pycat will have to force himself away.
Huge.
The rest of the team is coming through him. Roll there onto the Underlord with the Brio as well. With the Guna Babe is not doing too much damage. Actually, the cheese there will be eaten by the Lord, keeping himself alive. The PPT forcing back Brio. Lucent Beam will connect to Fly, and he will drop to the bouncing glaives of Pycat. And soon too will this tier 2 Zai again with another aggressive Battle Strike there. Connects onto the Beastmaster. Yule's there up onto the Io. But here comes the full poison over onto 3 heroes. And DC being run down. The relocate there from Stanking back into the fountain keeps them both alive though. But the Rax, they're under siege.
Yeah, he's still ticking down though. He's got the poison over.
Flea with the buyback, runs back into this and instantly dies. Gets off a big magnetize, but how much is it actually going to do? Pycat just focusing the objectives. Ritsu here trying to man up, trying to fight into 33 here. Playfree actually dropping very, very low from Bryle. And Ritsu, he'll be the next to fall though. He has no buyback. 76. Here comes the epicenter from Zai, but Bryle, he's already out of there. He heals himself up defensively, but a quick catch there on the Burrow Strike. No relocate this time. Io trying to do his best to keep Bryle alive, but he will finally drop.
It's GG.
That is surely GG. Yeah, no buyback and DC, they call it. Very quick end there. Suddenly from a... Looking DC might have snuck a win. OpTic come back around very quickly and punish them heavily. Take the Roshan. 5 minutes later, the game's over.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good attempt from DC. They absolutely held on for way longer than I was expecting them to. With the way that this was kind of looking, I wouldn't have been surprised if this game ended a few minutes earlier. Not to discredit DC, but just because OpTic looked so dominant, and unfortunately, it just came down to the team fight. Right? You have Gale, you have Poison Nova, you have Eclipse, you have Epicenter, and then this very, very tanky build from Underlord, right? You have the Crimson Guard and Pipe negating a lot of the damage from DC, and how do you kill anybody? You just couldn't do it. OpTic was going through team fights using 1 or 2 ultimates and still having another couple to back up on for the next one. So I think it really just boils down to the fact that Ritsu didn't get enough help in that bottom lane and wasn't able to come online fast enough. And so as soon as Bryle was dead, the fight was over.
Yeah, fair enough. MVP for you in this game?
Zai.
You think?
Zai was absolutely instrumental. He was in a lot of the lanes. He was causing a lot of pressure in the top lane, helping 33, getting, we saw amazing jukes from him, some really good burrow strikes, dodging around in and out of fights. And once he picked up his blink dagger, there was such clean initiations all the time. Ritsu wasn't even able to get off repel half the time because there was just really good chain stunning from OpTic, but always the setup there was from Zai. So he's MVP for me 100%.
Sure, we saw some really amazing 2 or 3 man Burrow Strikes in the last 2 or 3 engagements. Alright, thanks for watching this first game, guys. We'll hopefully be back for game 2 very quickly. I have been Spruce Moose, with me Forged Dota. Do stay tuned.